Hey everybody, and welcome back again. Today I'm going to show you how to do realistic dirt and grime weathering. This is just a really simple process. I find a photo of the prototype that I'd like to weather. I look very closely to see the dirt and grime that's been built up on the locomotive over time, and I try to weather that. The products that I use are AIM products. The reason why I use these is it creates a texture effect to really give it that dirt look. As you can see here, I'm just kind of zooming in to look closely and analyze what I'd like to model my model after. Here you can see I am showing you the different colors that I have inside this box. I've kind of just spread them into certain areas and kind of mixed and match depending on the colors that I wanted. A couple of the brushes that I use are a kind of a soft firm brush and some Q-tips. Q-tips are great. They help you remove some of the excess in case you get a little carried away. So now I'm going to kind of begin in the fast motion on how I do things. I like to start from the ground up. Using this firm brush, the bigger firm brush, I find colors that I feel are appropriate and add them to the trucks. Sometimes I do tiger striping on it, which means I would use lines of black. I would stripe them vertical, up and down, on the trucks in certain areas. Then I would come back and use the reddish dirt color and go over them and blend them in. The effect was quite charming and very nice. You can see I kind of work my way through every part of the truck here. And that's what I was talking about with the tiger striping. You can see that I'm striping the trucks to give it that extra appeal, if you will. It looks very, very nice. Next, I look at the fuel tank. The fuel tank on that picture seemed to be a lighter color, but it did have quite a bit of dirt and grime built up in front and the rear of the tank. So right there you can see I kind of try to do the best I can to mimic the colors. Then I move on to the next truck, and basically what I try to do is just repeat what I did the first time. It doesn't necessarily have to be just like the prototype, but I do the best I can to try to mimic whatever I can as far as grime and dirt and rust built up on the truck over time. I do like to look occasionally back at the photo and just kind of recheck and just maybe, add a little touch here and there just for differences. Here, look at the photo again and analyze the dirt and the grime that's been built up around the front of the cab. Typically, units that are facing forward into the wind during direction of travel are the ones that are covered the most. Here I start to work on weathering the dirt coming up from the base of the chassis, and I make my way up towards the front of the cab. I like to work my way from the bottom left corner or the bottom right corner, depending on which way you're looking, and go at an angle 45 degrees up. I find that makes it seem like, as far as the physics of the wind, would push the dirt around at that particular angle. Just a second ago, on the top of the cab, I decided to use a lighter reddish color and also some silver to break down the color of the paint on the front and also kind of just mimic the rusting gray that a lot of Union Pacifics tend to have. Okay, now I look at the grills. For this technique, I actually take the brush and load it up with soot black. I mean, I try to fill that thing up like a chipmunk stores nuts in his mouth. And I try to stick that into the grill. By doing that, I press the tip of the brush into the grill, kind of almost like poking it like a tattoo gun. And I just jam at the grill, and that powder just packs into it really nicely. You can see that I wet a Q-tip to clean up the excess that may come off the grill. I use that technique kind of pretty much all the way around the model. That way I can clean up any extra spots that may have gotten a little too overly dirty. The technique seems to work rather well, plus I can flip it around and use the dry side and clean it up a little bit more. Don't forget when you're finished just to hit it with a dull coat and spray the whole thing nicely, and it all sets in. Here we're just going to do a little flyby, kind of a quick view of the model itself in the photo and the model. and fire it up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please hit like, subscribe below, or leave a comment.